Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to a new music class with Miguel. So, today we're going to begin with the guitar playing part of our course. We have finally finished with all the reviews we have to add, and now we're going to go straight to the guitar. So, this is going to be exciting for all of us. So, we're going to be playing chords now, okay? We're going to focus on playing chords. We're not going to play melody anymore. Maybe some things here and there, but mostly it's going to be focused on chords. So be sure to always practice your chord shapes and your chord changes so that every time you practice, it's going to get better. Now, some things that you need to know before, because we need to know how to read chords on the staff. Some of you, or at least some some of these chord slashes, we saw them last year, but I want to review them and I'm going to introduce some new ones. So here you have, for example, the one right here, the first one. Every time you see this, it means you're going to play a chord for 4 beats because it is like a whole note. Okay, so here we have all the durations. The first one is like a whole note duration, so 4 beats. So every time you see this symbol right here, it means you're going to play the chord for a duration of 4 beats. Okay, the next one right here is going to be like a half note duration. So every time we see this chord slash right here, it means you're going to play a chord for the duration of 2 beats. The next one is this, okay, which means that you're going to play the chord for a quarter note duration, meaning 1 beat. And finally here, you have, I have put 2 examples because it's an 8th note duration. But remember, 8 notes, if you put them together, you join them by this beam. And if it's only one, then you have this flag, okay? In each case, every 8 note slash is gonna have a duration of half of a beat, okay? So now that you know that, we can go straight to chords. Don't forget, this is very, very important so that you know. So first we're going to have the C chord, okay, and you know how to do this already, okay, but I still put it there so you can review. You're going to put all your fingers in that position right there. Remember that diagram means that you're looking at the guitar like this, like standing up, so that when you play all those fingers on those notes, you're going to end up having this chord right here. Let me check if I'm doing it correctly. Yes, I am, so that when you play it, it sounds like a C chord and very nice, like this. Okay? And then you have the G chord, and if you put all your fingers like that, exactly as the diagram is saying, you will get something like this. Okay, so you have C chord and G, C and G. Okay, so now that you know and have reviewed these exercises, now if you need time to pause the video so that you can actually do the shapes of the chords, please go ahead. Okay, you can pause this video at any time before we continue, but we have to continue. Here we have 2 exercises. Okay, so let me just show you the first one. This is going to be a simple one. Okay, if you see there, you can see that all these slashes are going to be quarter note slashes. So it means that you're going to play each chord, in this case, 4 times during the beat because it is a 4/4 bar. So you have 1 chord, 2, 3, 4, and then you change the G, 1, 2, 3, 4. You did this type of exercises last year, so this is going to be a little bit of a review, but with the guitar. So that right there, you're going to play 1 bar of C, 1 bar of G, 1 bar of C, and then 1 bar of G. I have put here the numbers in the bottom. These are going to represent the beats of each bar. So every time there is a number, there's a chord stroke. Okay, so like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if it's too difficult for you to change quickly from one chord to the other, what you can do, it's a little bit of a cheat, but you can. On the fourth beat of every bar, this hand, you can take it out and start changing it so that you can land on the other chord on the first beat of the next bar. Now, that doesn't mean that this hand is going to stop playing. This hand is always going to play. This hand can stop, you can like go up, take it out, start changing, and then finally arrive at the next chord. But this hand, your right hand, will never stop playing because this one is gonna carry the beat. Remember this for the rest of your lives. The beat doesn't follow you. You follow the beat. Okay? So if you do that cheat, it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you saw this hand on the fourth beat of every bar, I took it out and started changing, but this hand never stopped playing the actual beat. Okay, so it's very important. Now that was an easier type of exercise, but the next one is going to be a little bit more complicated. Okay, so the second one is like this. Here you have, again, you have quarter note slashes, but you also have 8-note slashes in between. So what I have done in the bottom with numbers is I put all the chord strokes where the beat goes, and I also added these ands. You see, and 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 and. So if you count this, it will sound like this: 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So you're gonna play the chord on every number and on every and right there, because these 8 notes, you read them like this: 2 and, so that it's 2 beats, so that it's 2 chord strokes in 1 beat. Remember that every 8th note is half a beat. So it's going to be 2 8 notes per beat. So it's 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. So if I simply replace the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ands with, for example, the syllable ta, it will sound like this: ta, 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 ta. And that rhythm is what you're going to be playing with this hand, your right hand. Okay, so it will sound like this. I'm only going to do it with the C chord. I'm not going to change it first. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, only with the C chord and not changing. Okay, now as you can see in the bottom part, I have these D's and U's. The D's mean down, and the U means up. So it's down, down, up, 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 down. Every time you say down, you do a downstroke. Every time you say up, you do an upstroke. Down, down, up, down, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. You can also see it as every time you say the word and, you do an upstroke. Every time you count a number, you do a downstroke. Okay? So those are the 2 exercises. Now I'm going to do the exercise 2 with the chord changes, both C and G. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay? The same cheat that we did in the first exercise, we're going to do it now in the second. On the fourth beat, we started changing. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing right now, like this. Check this out. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, we're gonna see this chord. Now this is a new chord for you. If I remember everything correctly, I don't think you did this chord last year, but it's a very easy one. Okay, so if you follow that diagram, it means that you're going to be playing these notes right here. Okay, okay. And you do it like this. If you play the chord entirely, it's going to be sound like this. That's going to be the A chord. All those three fingers are going to be on the same fret, but on different strings. Okay, everything is going to be on the second fret. Now, one thing, if you want, you can use these three fingers, or you can use these three fingers. Either way, it's correct. In my case, I prefer this. I learned it when I learned it many years ago. I did with these three fingers, with my index, middle, and ring. But then I thought it was easier with these three fingers, using my pinky, my ring, and my middle. The one that is best for you, go for it. Okay, as long as you're playing the same notes on the guitar, it doesn't matter if you do it with these three fingers or these three fingers. It doesn't matter. It will sound the same. Okay, so that is one chord. And the other chord, which I don't know if you did it last year, I think you saw D7, not D, just D, but it's like this. And the same thing, if you play all those notes in the diagram correctly in the guitar, it will sound like this. Okay? Now, when you play this chord, look at the diagram right here. You see these two X's. It means that the fifth string and the sixth string, you're not going to play them. Or at least you're going to try very hard not to play them when you play the chord. Okay, why not? Because it has different notes that are not part of that chord. Okay, maybe if you play the D chord and you play the fifth string, maybe it will sound not so bad like this with this note. But if you add this note, it will sound very bad. Look, you have this low that like doesn't belong. Okay, so try not to play this last two strings, the fifth and the sixth. Okay, so play it from the fourth. Okay, and for the exercises, you're gonna do the exact same exercises that we did with C and G, but now we're gonna do it with A and D. So the first exercise will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the second exercise will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 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 and. Okay, good. Now that you have practiced that, because again, remember, you can pause the video at any time and go and try these exercises yourselves. And it's good you practice because you have a task. And that task is going to be very simple. First, you're going to record yourselves on video playing all these exercises using an online metronome. I will explain what an online metronome is. So you're going to record yourselves on video playing all four exercises. The first one with C and G, second one with C and G, then the third one with A and D, and the second one with A and D. That's going to be 4 exercises. Okay, I know it's going to be difficult, but that's why you need to practice. You can practice many times as you like, and then record yourselves on video. Don't forget to tune your guitar first. It is very important. Okay. Finally, I will consider beat, chord technique, tuning, and sound quality when grading the task. Meaning that if I talk about beat, you have to always follow the beat. If you are delayed at some point in the exercise, that I will consider. Chord technique, meaning that you're gonna play all the notes together. You have the shape correctly, the G, the C, the A, or the D. Okay, that is gonna be chord technique. Then tuning, if it's the guitar, it's on tune. Okay, If it is tuned, I will hear it and I will know if the guitar is tuned or not. And finally, the sound quality, meaning that you are pressing all the notes correctly so that it sounds like this, for example, everything sounds clear instead of like this. It sounds like muddy, okay? So you're gonna do that and then you will upload that video to Schoology, okay? Don't forget that if you have any questions, you can email me. You can write with Schoology or any other means. Okay, so see you guys next class. Don't forget to practice. Try to practice every day. You can practice maybe like 20 minutes, something like that. That will be good, and you will get better in very very little time. The more you practice, the better you will get. The faster you will get. Okay, so guys, see you later. Don't forget to do your task and your practice. Bye bye.